Today's notes are on slope of a line. It's a new unit, and we're focusing on rise over run, which is how we're going to calculate the slope. Slope is going to refer to the steepness of a linear function. A linear function is a graph that is just a line, whether it's going this way, or even completely flat. So linear function, and then examples of not linear functions are ones that have breaks in them, ones that skip over sections, etc. There's 4 different kinds of slope. A positive slope looks like this. As we get larger on the x-axis, we increase on the y-axis. A negative slope is going to look like this. As we increase the x-axis, we decrease on the y. A zero slope is going to be no increase of y, even though x continues to increase. And an undefined slope is when y fluctuates, but x does not, and it's a totally vertical line. For the purposes of what we're learning this year, we're focusing more on positive, negative, and zero slope. Once you start talking about functions in the next grade, you're going to get into the importance of undefined functions. As for our main idea, we calculate slope with that formula of rise over run. And we look at the graphs of the lines in order to calculate the rise and the run. So on my first graph, graph A, we pick any point in the graph, and I think it's helpful to start on one of the axes. Now, to get from the first point to the second point, the graph rose 2, and it ran 1, 2, 3. So the slope of that graph of rise over run is going to give me 2 over 3. Now, what if you started at a different point? Let's say that we started at this point down here, and we wanted to make it all the way up to this point here. Well, in that case, we had a rise of 1, 2, 3, 4, and a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a rise of 4, a run of 6, and that still simplifies to a slope of 2 over 3. What if we didn't start to the far left? What if we started all the way over here and we actually worked backwards? Well, this has a rise of -1, -2, because it dropped 2, and then it runs backwards 1, 2, 3. So that gives me a slope of -2 over -3, which again still simplifies to positive 2/3. So the main idea is that when we're calculating how steep it is, we're calculating how tall it is or how much it rises compared to how far it goes. Let's look at example B. Graph B, you'll remember, has a negative slope. So the first one had a positive slope. This one, as the x value is increasing, the y value is decreasing, so it's a negative slope. But we can calculate it and prove this as well. If I pick any 2 points on the graph, and remember, I like starting on one of the axes, I notice that I rise 1, 2, 3, 4, but actually I'm falling 4. I'm going down. I'm not rising up. I'm like sinking. But I run in the positive direction of 1. If I'm calculating my slope of rise over run, that means that I rose -4, I ran 1, so that gives me a slope of -4. I can calculate it the other way too. If I don't start on the origin and I actually start down here and I work my way up, you'll notice that this time, to get from one to the other, I'm rising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but then I run backwards 2. That gives me a rise of 8, a run of -2, giving me a slope of -4 as well. So you can notice from these that the first one had a positive slope and the second one had a negative slope, matching what we saw in the 4 graphs at the beginning. Something else to have written down is the slope-intercept formula. This is how you're going to see these equations of graphs written down. We have m, which is our slope. We have our b, which is our y-intercept. And we have our x and our y, which are any points that we substitute in for the graph. It's any ordered pair. So for example, if we have y equals -1/2 x plus 2, that means that my slope, let's use the red since that's what we used the first time, my slope is -1/2 and my y-intercept is +2. If I'm looking at this graph, that means on the y-axis, it's intersecting at 2, and it has a slope of -1 run, or -1 rise, run +2. Now, this is basically an entire day's worth of lesson compressed into one slide, so don't stress if this isn't making a lot of sense to you, but I want you to see the correlation between the letters and what each of the letters stand for and get that vocabulary down. We're going to go over 3 examples. If you have the ability to print off some coordinate planes for your notes, this might be helpful. If you don't, I would just make sure that I copy the origin and make sure that I have these points connected on the graph where you can easily see where they intersect. If we're trying to figure out the slope, the rise over run, or the y over x, I count the rise and compare to the run. I rise 1, I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my slope is 1/5. You also could write slope as m. If we estimate the slope on this one, just looking at it, what does it look like? Well, it looks completely flat, which is a slope of 0. But we can also calculate it with rise over run. So starting from any point, how much does it rise? Well, it rises none, but then it runs 1, 2, 3. And 0 divided by anything just gives me 0. So this one has a slope of 0. They might write it as y over x, like we did with our unit rate, or they might write it with the m value of 0. For example 3, I pick any point. Now there's not a good intersection on either of the axes, so I'll just pick another point that crosses. I like picking the one in the middle. Well, this one goes here. So it drops 1, 2, 3, so that's a -3 rise, and it runs 1, 2, 3, 4. So for rise over run, that is -3/4, which gives me a slope of -3/4. Here's one for you to try. Pause it, try on your own, and then play and check and see how you did. Ready? All right, this one rises and runs. Sometimes it's helpful to draw that path. It rises 1, 2, 3, 4, and it runs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that gives me a slope of +4/8, or 1/4.